God, that music is so catchy. I'm sitting here bouncing in the background. Hello, everybody. Welcome into Comic Book Food Chain, the new and improved Comic Book Food Chain.
Yes, you guys will notice that Ant has had some work done. She is very shy about this, but a lot of yoga and a lot of Pilates has paid off. So here we are. No, but seriously, welcome in. We'd like to welcome Laura to the show. You guys might remember Laura from the fashion episode a couple weeks back, or if you guys are nearing Nirvana fans or comic book women fans or Bird City fans or Only fans, you know who Laura is.
Scratch the last one. The last one.
We'll see. Depends on how Bird City goes. Anyway, Laura is joining us in the retailer chair this week. Ant's got a little cold. You should hear his voice like a lounge singer.
He's handling it like a Spartan.
So that means he's drinking a lot of alcohol with his cold?
And walking around in a loincloth, yeah.
Getting killed by Xerxes. Got it.
You gotta cleanse out those germs. Like alcohol, I heard, cures that.
It does.
I like drinking. But yes, in our creator chair, we've got me, Frank. In the retailer chair, as I've said, we've got Laura from Bird City Comics and sitting in for Ant. And in the collector slash pro collector chair, we've got Aaron Yeezy Yee.
As you can see, I updated one of my posters.
I did not notice that. Which one?
So this one, and I added this.
Ain't that a bitch trying to like point over your shoulder and it's backwards?
Yeah, I thought I did pretty good. You know what I mean?
No, that was good. You hit it. There you
go. Yep. So which ones is it?
It's the two Scotty Youngs. So it's the Deadpool will merc for money, and then it's a symbiote Spider-Man. It's probably hard to see because it's so far back.
I can see the bottom 1 inch of it. No, I'm just kidding. Looks good, man. Looks good.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
I'm a little sore.
Too much Pilates?
Too much Pilates, yes.
Yep,
I did way too many Pilates today. I'm a little sore. Like my arms hurt right now while I'm sitting here. My big buff arms.
How does your back feel from carrying this episode so far?
A little tense. Loosen up. I got it.
All right. Let's do a little house cleaning, a little business, table setting, whatever you want to call it. Tim, could you bring up the slides? So this week we are talking about what I so ineloquently called the comic YouTube boom. We will get a little more into what that means a little bit later, but we'll be talking about comic book YouTube, as that says. We are still on our road to 900 subs, on the larger road to 1,000 subs. We're slowly ticking up a little bit each week. So if you haven't and you're watching and you haven't, hit the bell, the sub, the like button, all that stuff. We depend on that. It's how we put food on our tables, especially in the Arollo household, where I hear that cooking is, give or take. But yeah, if you guys haven't done that, please do. When we hit 900 subs, we're going to give away this beautiful copy of Sam Wilson Captain America #1, the hip hop variant cover, courtesy of Mr. Yee. This is from his personal collection. It's a pretty nice edition, near mint-ish, I hear. And it's going
needs a press.
It needs a press, which we're talking about that next week though. So let's hold that. But yeah, it's going for a pretty penny too. So we want to give that away to one of you guys. So be sure to sub the channel, bells, fingers, all that stuff. Wow, that sounds terrible. Thumbs up. This is Ant's job. So anyway,
no, you're doing great. I'm sold. Yeah. I want to sub. If I wasn't already subbed, I would sub.
I would love a sub right now, but we're talking about something very different. So that's at the 900, and at the 1,000, we will be giving away my personal copy of the San Diego Comic-Con Canton #1. This is a near mint. Could use a press maybe, but I think it's in pretty good shape. It's been bagged and board since I got it. And it is signed by David and Drew, the creators of Kanto. We've talked about this a few times on the show. It's been optioned for an animated feature. David's writing it. So a signed, 96.98 copy is going to get you a pretty penny over on the eBays, or it'll be nice in the personal collection. And I want to give it away to you. So again, hit the sub button and all that good stuff.
Laura, you had both David and Drew on. Was it during Nirvana not too long ago?
Yeah, they're fantastic. David is hilarious. He's also doing another book that's coming out called Killer Queens.
Nice.
It looks really good.
I read the first issue of Killer Queens about a week ago. It's ridiculous.
Is it? Was it about, like? Did you get the funny vibe off of it? Like, what was it about?
It's definitely like darkly funny. It is.
right.
Imagine who's that Flash Gordon? Imagine Flash Gordon's something
Nice.
pulpy like that, but definitely built for Pride Month.
Yeah.
And it's very much in David's wheelhouse. I think I might like it even a little better than Canto, but I don't know yet. I have to read it again.
Really? That's
That's
a huge compliment. Yeah, no, he's fantastic. Drew Zucker's fantastic too. If you guys haven't picked up Canto, I highly recommend it. We spent the episode trying to cast who we thought Canto should be, and I said Chris Pratt. I think Mel said
as the voice. Yeah,
yeah.
I can see that. Or somebody with like a sweet, really genuine voice, like not Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Mel said Jack Black. That was one.
I could see it.
What was the other one?
I don't remember, but I remember the creator saying that they really liked Mel's picks.
He chose Jack Black, which is like so ridiculously good.
I think it was both of them too, wasn't it? And
yeah.
I think Jen's they really liked her picks too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, since none of us can remember what those are, when we're
it's such a memorable episode.
Go check out Near Nirvana episode 4 or whatever it was, 17. Anyway, we are here to talk about comic book YouTube, and to do that, we have a very special guest. You guys know him as Comics with Bueller. Let's bring Travis in, or I don't know. Do you go by Travis in public?
I go by Travis with anyone who doesn't know about comic books. But if you know anything about comic books, I just get called Bueller. I mean, even people that have known me for years now, they still call me Bueller, even though they don't even know my real name.
I didn't know it was Travis. I thought it was Bueller.
Literally,
like,
they've been to my house.
guy?
They've stayed under my roof, and they have no idea what my real name is.
You're like Madonna.
Awesome.
You just have one name.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce.
You gotta stop bringing in those people who are hitchhiking on the train, man.
I'm very friendly, man. I'm like, oh, come on in. I'm very greeting, so it's like the door is always wide open. But I got to tell you, Laura, thank you so much for being on here. I feel privileged to have you here. I mean, literally, look at her. She's just like a perfection up there in that corner. She's,
gosh.
This guy doesn't know how.
She was talking about how much she works out, before we started and stuff. And it shows. I mean, I don't work out at all. I don't even know what a gym looks like anymore. My gym closed down about 15 years ago, and I never re-upped anywhere else. But for her, you can tell she takes advantage of the gym. Congratulations. Awesome.
Thank you. Thanks. That's really, I'm bright red. You can't tell because of all these lights, but I'm blushing. Thank you.
It looks like a Zima commercial up there. It's awesome. I love it.
You know what, Laura, you do work out. It does show. That's great. I do feel like I need to balance the universe out, though, and let everyone know that over the weekend, both Aaron and I saw you without makeup, and it looked just as good.
Oh, man. That's not where I thought you were going with that. I was like, oh, be kind. I had just got back from Costco, so I was like sweaty and gross.
It's 117 degrees. Yeah, no,
I know. Rough. I need to get a vest like Bueller, though.
It's the Bueller vest.
Yeah, you gotta rock the vest.
Have you ever seen the movie?
Hey, Laura, is this the first time we've ever been on podcast together besides the fashion?
Yeah, because we did the one prior to this, but normally we're on different shows.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's great to see you down there.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about the incestuous landscape that is YouTube. But before we get into it, Travis Bueller, why don't you just, for anyone watching, there's probably not a single person here who doesn't know who you are, but for anyone, just in case, why don't you give us a rundown of who you are and what you do?
Well, my real name is Travis, but obviously I go by Bueller. The channel that I'm on is called Comics with Bueller. It started a little over 3 years ago. Just me picking up a camera and just talking about some books I got for 50 cents. And it kind of evolved from that to actually putting out content that had some value to it that people really enjoyed. And from that, it's kind of turned into my living. I mean, 3 years later from just picking up a random camera, this is what I do. I earn my whole living off doing comic book YouTube content. And it doesn't get much better than that. I never thought I'd be doing that, and I'm kind of semi-retired because of that. So it's awesome. But we do multiple different shows. We have a Monday show. It's called Coffee and Comics. It's probably one of my favorites. It's just like a morning talk show about comic books. I have my top 10 list, which is just based on story. It's not based on any spec market type thing. And then I have my weekly preview video, which is actually like the #1 most watched preview video on YouTube and hasn't been for like 3 years. And that's kind of where I gain my audience. Thousands and thousands of people watch that every week. And we've done other stuff besides those three, but those three are the main videos. And but yeah, it's a full-time job. I love it.
So yeah, you were taking notes during all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah.
And just, was it this morning or yesterday? You hit 20,000 followers, right?
It was this morning. Yeah, I hit 20,000 subscribers, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of luck. I will be honest. It's a lot of luck, but it's a lot of work as well. It's about 50-50, to be totally honest. But if you have stuff on your channel that people are looking for, they'll find it. And if it's good quality, they'll keep on finding it. And that's kind of what I've been able to do. So hitting 20,000 feels pretty good. But it's to me, it's just a drop in the bucket, to be honest, because I think that the audience out there is so much larger. Even if you have 100,000 subscriber channel, I think it's much larger than that. I think the sky's the limit, to be totally honest.
And I think you're right. And that's why I think I pitched this episode, right? As a creator, I've done a shit ton of marketing, right? A lot of podcasts, a lot of written interviews for sites like, Newsarama and CBR and stuff like that. But I honest to God think that the most traction I've gotten in my career in terms of interviews has come from YouTube, because it's a lot of times it's live. The numbers are so much higher. Like I love doing podcast interviews because I hate being on camera, which is why it's a terrible idea for me to be on this show.
You hate being on camera?
Oh yeah, especially with
Really?
these fucking clowns. Present company excluded.
Everybody guessed it. You're always so cool and calm and collected.
It's a defense mechanism. You just got to be, right. This is part of making comics. You gotta get your books out there. But I think that, like, just in terms of views versus listens, like, podcasts are a drop in the YouTube bucket, right? It's kind of the Wild West of content creation still, in spite of the fact that, like, it's been around for what YouTube dropped in 2008. Is that right?
No, isn't that when Google bought YouTube?
All right, but it's been around about 15 years, give or take. I think we can say that pretty safely. And it's still kind of being defined, and we're starting to see it really, some of the, for lack of a better phrase, the cream start to rise to the top, right? Like, there are people like you who are getting large fan bases and able to transition into having a living, which we've seen a lot of people do on YouTube to begin with. Like, you've got the gamer guys and whoever, people who eat and get paid for it, which is insane to me. I'd love to do that. But I think for comics, like, we're starting to see, like, a lot of those superstars start to kind of pour out.
But don't you think he's being so modest? Because it's not luck, Bueller. Your content is spot on. It's amazing. People go to you for reliable information, and there's so much misinformation that also gets shown out there on the channel. And it's cool to be able to go to somebody that is reliable.
Well, it's funny because how long ago did I meet you, Frank? A few years back at Rose City or something like that. I think I gave you my business card.
Yeah, I still have it.
That was a mistake. I should have never done it. The guy, he emailed me every month, every time I gave it to him. But, like, back then, like a couple years ago, I was totally just faking it. I was just kind of hoping, to make a mark or whatnot. And there was, my channel was pretty small, maybe a couple thousand and stuff, and I was thinking big when it wasn't as big as
fake it till you make it type deal.
Exactly. And then, like, about a year and a half ago, it kind of flipped, and I really started to see the results that I was looking for, and it's grown quite large ever since. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with it, and we try to be honest on our channel. It's like I have a co-host. His name is Bob, and he joined me on that coffee video probably about a year ago. And having him there allowed me to have the conversations I wanted to have about comic books, because I can only stare at a camera by myself so long, and it just, it gets boring or whatnot. So you need someone next to you to kind of, you have to have the banter, and you have to have something to talk about, kind of just interact. And since then, it really, we've really been able to put our stamp on the channel, and actually in the YouTube, comic book arena, if you want to call it, because our stuff is very, to the point. We're not like we're not a speculation channel at all. I actually am not a fan of speculation type stuff. It's not really my wheelhouse, so I kind of stay away from it. I love what's in between the pages of the comics, and that's what does it for me, and that's what I like to talk about. So Yeah, and that's what we do, and the audience is there. And I always look at it like this. I mean, there's a lot of speculation channels out there that do really well, per se. I mean, the big channels do really well on content based on characters. Like if you look at channels that have like 100,000 subscribers or 200,000, their content on comic books is not about comic book itself. It's about content about characters and character base and the history of this character or something like that. It's not the actual comic book. It's the characters themselves. So if you can kind of tap into that, I think that's when your channel will start growing even more, and you get away from just the individual issue itself month to month, even though I like that the most. But if you want to see really growth, you kind of have to switch into the character and go away from the comic.
Yeah, I think we talked about that when we were kind of putting this channel together as like a pitch when Anthony and I were talking, and especially when Ant and I were talking early. And it's the broader you can make your content, the broader your audience can be. But the broader you make your content, the less of a personality you get to be. And when we put this together, we were like, we want to do a panel style show that gives people perspective, right? We could do a show where we talk about Laura Kinney and who she is and her history, but like that's not really what we came to do. Like we want to get our names out there. We want to have fun. We want to hang out, and it comes down to what your priorities are. And I think that one of the reasons I like the idea of having you on is because I think that your priorities are super clear, right? Whereas some other channels kind of throw shit at the wall and see what sticks, which isn't like an invalid approach, because those are the channels that get 100,000 subs.
Yeah,
but like,
I mean, you have to do that every now and then. I've taken shots out there, but I don't waste time if I don't see results from it. It's not like I just hammer at it and keep on doing it. If I don't see results from something right away, there's other stuff I know that get results. So why not stick with that and, use my other time for stuff that does something better. So
sure. And if you never know making any kind of a living off of it, you have to be smart, right? Like we can do whatever we want on this channel because we don't make any fucking money here. Bird City makes a little bit, but not the rest of us. That's it.
I was gonna say real quick, and I really appreciate the coffee perspective. I used to be a barista, so like seeing that, I was just like, oh man, that's awesome. Like I gotta ask him like coffee questions and stuff like that, or let him ask me coffee questions. So
yeah, it's nice because we're actually sponsored by 2 different coffee places now. So it's like I have a local coffee shop that sponsors us, and I have another coffee maker that sponsors us as well, and they just send me free bags of coffee all the time. So it's wonderful.
That's incredible. Do you know?
I was gonna say I recommend a French press if you don't already have one.
Yeah, I have one.
Bueller, if you don't know Jono, I'm going to say his last name wrong, but Diener, he's a comic creator. He's put out a couple books, but he's also got a coffee company out of Michigan somewhere called Rootless. If you don't know Jono, I'll make an intro there. I think you guys can get some stuff done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
The one I go through now, they're called Comics on Coffee, and they're based out of Florida. And they're actually, I think they're going to start doing something with Scout Comics pretty soon. But they make really good coffee, and it's the lady who owns the company. She does artwork and stuff, so she draws on the bags, and they look like characters and stuff. So it's all superhero based. So
that's cool. That's very cool.
You get coffee on a remark. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig that. So I wanted to ask you some questions in particular, Travis, and then we can kind of let it get more organic from there. But you've obviously created a successful channel. Like whatever your metric is, there's no doubting that 20K is a milestone and that's some kind of success. Even if you want to be at 1 million, that's definitely a decent audience, right? What do you think goes into making a good YouTube channel for comics, right? Like because it's a niche. So like, what is the secret sauce to YouTube for comics?
The secret sauce, honestly, this is basic stuff, and this actually kind of goes to where any YouTube channel, you got to know, you got to learn your title of your video. Is the biggest thing. I cannot stress that enough. It's the title of your video that you do.
Everybody says that. That's like all I hear from people is the title.
So
it really is.
Really searchable things like comic book food chain are good.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. I had Steve Borak, and I had him on the channel for an interview. He's the main guy for the grading company or whatnot. And if you go and you search any of his interviews on YouTube, you'll type in interview with Steve Borak. All of them will be around 1,000, maybe 2,000 views at the most. And when I had him on there, I didn't title it with his name. I literally titled it "Everything You Need to Know About Grading Comics and Why You Should Do It." and that was the title. And literally that has 11,000 views. In comparison to the second one, with the second most only has 2,000 views. It's the same damn thing. It's literally the same video.
But nobody searches his name. They're searching what you titled.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, just learning how to title a video is so important. And that was actually something at a very early on, I just literally sat down for like a month and learned how to title a video, learned what words work together. And then from that, I learned how to do tags and how those work. And once I learned that, and then I learned how to do just attractive thumbnails or whatnot, trying to make those look good and what color schemes go together. I mean, they always talk about, like basketball jersey colors, they complement each other. So like the Lakers, yellow and purple or whatnot, that color scheme complements each other. They look good. And so you want to use stuff like that. So
orange and blue, red and green, right?
Yeah.
Red,
it really does make yellow.
Color wheel.
Yeah, if you're going across the color wheel, that's how they make. That's what you're talking about.
Complementary colors.
Yeah.
If you look, every one of my videos, every one of my thumbnails, most of the text has yellow lettering in them. I mean, 99% is all yellow lettering that I put in there, just because yellow stands out. That's some of the basic stuff that can kind of go with any YouTube channel at all. It doesn't matter. As far as comic book stuff goes, specifically, when I came in and started doing it, it was just literally like haul videos, people just showing what they got. And, which is fun. Those are entertaining. I actually like those videos, but there wasn't a lot of other stuff. It was 90% that. And there wasn't really anything on there that was like giving like, I guess value, if you want to use that word. Not that those don't, but value as in a sense like, hey, I'm wondering what's coming out next week. How can I find that out? Or is this book any good? Is there a review on this book? Or something
the difference you're getting at is actionable value versus entertainment value.
Entertainment value, yes.
There you go. And the thing is, you have to be able to combine the two. And if you can combine the two, like that's something that we do really well on the copy video. We provide information, but it's entertaining. People really enjoy that video.
You guys are hilarious. You are hilarious. Yeah. The two of you together paired up, it's just like I can't stop smiling if I'm watching that show.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like we have a personality. We play off each other very well. It's structured, really well, so it flows. And we cover a lot. There's literally like 6 different segments in that video. And before you know it, you just sat there for an hour and 40 minutes. And it's like, people really enjoy it. It's at 5:00 in the morning on Monday, and there's hundreds of people in the chat watching it live with us every morning at 5:00. And it's awesome.
Oof.
That's awesome.
So for anyone just tuning in, we're talking about everything you need to know about starting a comic book YouTube channel. This will also be the last episode of Comic Book Food Chain, because I just realized that we are way the fuck in over our heads.
I know, right? That all of his information and tips apply to any channel that you want to do. Get your title on point, get your tags on point, and having appealing thumbnails. Those 3 things will get you off the ground until you become, a well-known name and you're able to do what the hell you want.
Yeah. But even when you build a huge audience, I mean, it really depends on. It's surprising. Like I'm friends with Jim Mint Collectibles, and he's got an audience of about 130,000. And I've asked him. I go, man, why? We had this conversation. I go, why do creator interviews? People don't watch them. They just don't watch them. We don't know why. And like he had Chip Zdarsky on a few months back. And one of my favorite writers for Daredevil. He couldn't get 2% of his audience to watch that video. Not even 2%. I mean, he had less than 2,000 people watch that video, and he has over 100,000 subscribers.
So I've got some thoughts on this, actually. Yeah.
So and I told this to Frank one time, because Frank was talking about his Dead End Kids, and he reached out to me. He's like, hey, I'd like to come on there. I'm like, Frank, honestly, the interviews don't do very well.
You're a hard pass, Frank. Hard pass.
But
it was hard for him to pass. I'm great.
I told him if he shoots a video and I can stick it in my video that I know people are going to watch, that'll work a lot better, because it's in my content that's already being, I have dedicated fans. So Frank took a few minutes and shot a little commercial, and I stuck it right in my video. And, like 8,000 people saw it, as compared to if me and Frank just did a one-on-one. Maybe 1,000, at the most. I don't know.
Yeah, it actually worked out really well because I was able to send that video to a whole bunch of other YouTube channels too. So it really saved me a ton of time. But what you're saying about the creator interviews thing is something I've thought about a lot because obviously, like, we had that conversation. I have also had that same conversation with Gem Mint. Like, I get it. But I got to find solutions for that. I got to get my name out there.
If your name's not, let's be honest, if your name's not Tom McFarlane, nobody's watching your interview. And I don't know why. I don't get it. I really don't understand why that is because to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Thinking about it, and I don't know if this is the exact answer, but I think that this is part of it, it's when you build your channel to be for a certain audience, right? Gem Mint does a lot of omnibus reviews. He does a lot of unboxing of statues. So when you throw in something like a creator interview, which is something he doesn't do a lot of, like that's not the promise of the premise when you get to his channel. Whereas you watch something like Hot Ones, where it is an interview show and they get millions of views on every episode. So I think we're going to do a segment later about what would our dream comics YouTube project be, and that's something that I was thinking about and something I'll touch on. So I'll save that for then. But it is definitely something that if your audience isn't trained for it, they're not gonna interact with it, right? Like we do 2 videos here. We do the live video and we do what we're eating, and what we're eating gets half the views because it's not the panel discussion, even though it kind of is. But it's a different product, right? And the people who watch the channel don't necessarily come here for that. It's something we added later. Just something to think about.
Yeah, when I look at my audience and I look at my videos and like my a lot of the people that watch my preview video on Wednesday are totally different people than watch my copy video on Monday, even though they do about the same amount of views. Because I can look at my copy video and like 95% of the people who watch that are subscribed. And then I look at my preview video and only 40% of the people who watch that are subscribed. And, and there's thousands and thousands of people that watch that. I'm like, so that's totally different people that are getting different value from different content. So if you can have a different variety on your channel and not overflow, and that's one thing I tell people, I don't do a video a day. I don't kind of overflow, and I let my videos have time to breathe and find their audience, especially some of the bigger ones.
Fine wine.
Exactly. I think it does do good. I think if you can put out content, and then if you stick out, you can put out really good content, and then the next video is horrible. And if you stuck it out there like right after the good one gets buried because people were just looking at the last video you put out. And it's like, you missed out on the audience. So it's really important to notice if this is good content, make sure you give it some of its time of its own to find its audience. So
sure. I mean, that's just general rule of thumb is less is more, right? If you do, what's the Parks and Rec? Don't half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing.
Yeah.
All right. So any sort of final parting thoughts or things anyone wants to throw out there, other questions before we move over into the fun segment? Air quotes.
Oh, I'm excited for the fun segment. I'm ready for it. I have ideas.
You get to go last because I feel like you stole one of our ideas somehow.
It's possible. I might just build on one of yours. No, congratulations, though, Bueller. 20K is nothing to snuff at. Sneeze at.
Sure, snuff at is good.
Snuff at. Yeah.
It's nothing to Batman and Catwoman at.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and
it's incredible.
I podcast on another channel, and it's something to look up to. And then we're still building an audience with that too. So.
Crazy thing, and we're looking up to you guys over on Flip Side. It's a big old downhill, and shit's running down it.
Well, I mean, that's why I liked when I joined. When Ant asked me to join this panel, I was excited to see the building up of a channel, like from the ground up, instead of just I kind of just got tossed into like where Flipside was, and then just to keep on expanding it. So it is exciting to see like both sides of the coin, if you will.
There's a lot of that flip side is how many people are part of that thing, man. It just seems like
Laura's on the channel also.
Yeah, I do comic book women.
What do you guys? 5,600 subscribers, give or take, and I think about 5,500 of them are hosts.
Well, I mean, I'm on the Modern Playbook team, and that alone has 23 people on the team.
Oh man, that was good. That was good, Frank. Okay, can I ask him one question before we move on?
Yeah, you may ask him a question.
I just want to ask him one. First, though, before we do that, if any of you out there are watching, do us a favor, take a split second and share this out. Bueller is a treasure in the community. Frank's, he's awesome.
Barely.
So share this out and give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far. Bueller, you already said the things that we should do. Now, if you could go back, and this is going to be kind of tricky, so take a second to think about it. What's the biggest mistake you made when you first started?
The most embarrassing one.
Yeah, like what's something where you're like, oh man, if I could just erase that from my resume.
I had a really wonderful Neil Adams interview I put on my channel. And Neil Adams, wonderful guy, very outspoken, as you guys probably know.
Yes,
but I did two interviews with him.
Okay.
One of them was comic book based. Great interview. Honestly, I will stand to this day. It's probably the best interview on Neil Adams on YouTube. That one right there. The second one was I asked him what his thoughts about Donald Trump was, and.
And without picking sides, we can just imagine how strong that got.
Yeah, I actually told him. I said, now Neil, there's a really good chance that our president Donald Trump is going to watch this video. What would you like to say to him? And he went on for an hour, and just tore that guy to shreds. And I just sat there like, okay,
you broke the cardinal rule. Politics and religion.
Craziest thing is he didn't even take a breath. I watched this interview, no breath.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, now everybody's gonna go back and watch this horrible interview that you said.
I took it off the channel. I took it off.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, there was so many people in the chat or in the comments that were like literally fighting each other, and I was like, I couldn't take it. It was like I had it up for a weekend. I mean, a few thousand people watched it, and it was doing well. But I was like looking at the chat, and people were just tearing each other apart. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't take it. So I just bit the bullet and took it down and just left up the other one. And the other one's pretty good, but it has nothing to do with politics and stuff. But, stuff like that you got to be careful with. But I'm glad I did it, to be honest, because he gave me his time and he shared that with me and stuff. So I kind of felt obligated to kind of share it as well. And, but, there was a lot of things in the beginning when I first started that I was kind of associated with some other people and stuff like that. And from them, I learned what not to do. And what not to do was to do what they were doing. And so I left them and then kind of just did my own thing. And it did really well. So I was like, it's kind of like the Seinfeld, do the opposite, George Costanza thing. Whatever George Costanza thought about doing, he was like, you need to do the opposite, and that's right. And so I basically just did that. So and it worked out.
I love it. Good. That's just as valuable what not to do.
Yeah.
Hang on real quick.
Yeah.
So creator interviews don't do well, but this guy found a way to make them do well. So what I need to do is have political opinions. All right.
No.
Okay.
There you go, man.
That's not what he's saying.
No. I'm pretty sure he just told me the opposite of what.
No, here's the thing, Frank. This is what you can do that, and you'll have half your audience is going to love you, and the other half is going to try to kill you. That's what's going to happen.
Hate mail.
So if you can live with that, then you're good to go.
If I got hate mail, at least I get some mail.
I do have a question. In your experience, do you see that live videos do better or recorded?
Recorded videos do tremendously better.
Okay.
Really?
Live videos, they're okay. But if you really want to grow your channel, you need to stop doing live videos and make some pre-recorded, edited videos that are to the point. Like you're to the point of the conversation within the first 30 seconds. You're like, hey, welcome aboard. We're going to talk about this book. Here you go, and you're already there. You need to hook them right away because it's all about watch time. If you get 20 viewers on a video and all 20 of those people watch that video for the whole thing, that's more valuable to YouTube than if you get 100 people watch and they only watched a minute.
That's true.
So
you better stay. Every one of you.
But
don't leave.
No, I edited videos. I think are really the key. I mean, think about how many big channels are live channels. How many really big channels on YouTube are live channels? No, it's all edited content.
But when you're first starting out, do you think you should start live? So that way you're building a base, you're creating relationships with your viewers, and then once you get to a certain point, start to record?
I didn't go live until about 8 months after I started my channel.
Wow.
I think I was at like something like 800 subscribers before I even tried doing a live stream.
Cool. So
and like the first one I did, there was like a ton of people there because they're like, oh, he's going live and stuff, and
because you already have your audience when they watch whenever, and then like they get that notification like, oh, you're live, and it's like, oh,
exactly,
I get to interact with the man, the myth, the legend.
Well, I don't know about that, but
I'm not on that. I am not on that channel. I don't know where that information came from, but I'm here on Comic Book Food Chain. Sorry. All right, so I'm going to cut you guys off. We're done with that conversation. We're going to get to the point. All right, let's segue over to our fun segment. I figured since we have Bueller and we've got the lovely Laura with her yoga arms, that we would do a little building. We've done some build segments before. I can't remember them. I'm sorry. Was it build a team something? I don't fucking remember. It doesn't matter. We're gonna do a build a dream YouTube channel segment here. So we're gonna dream up what our dream comic book project is, but through the lens of where we sit on the comic book food chain. So I'm going to come from the creator point of view, like what I would want to see on YouTube. Laura's going to bring the retailer point of view. Aaron's going to bring the collector point of view, and Travis is going to bring the YouTuber point of view. So I'm not going to go first because I don't want to be the one who sets the tone because we're making this up.
I'll go first.
Yeah, you will.
Yay! All right. As a retailer, if I was able to create a YouTube channel that made purchasing books seamless and so incredibly easy, that's what I would choose. So let's just say we're sitting here because we do live shows on Facebook, but that's a process. You have to get the person to claim it, then you have to set it on the side and fill out a sticky, and then you have to invoice them later. Then some people don't pay and whatever. I would like to create something where you could have a show, and as you're putting a book up on the screen, if the person claims it, it automatically charges them. It automatically goes through our shipping system. We take that book, we put it in a box, the label's ready, and it goes. Something that's incredibly automated. I don't think that type of ease of shopping is out there yet, and that would be such a huge resource if we could find something along those lines.
Yeah. So for things that you only have one of, like when you guys do your back issues, if you've only got like one, you could probably utilize like the link up in the top corner of the video for that, and like link to the site directly. And it's just first come, first serve at that point.
People are so hesitant about using the sites during live shows because they're like, I don't want to pay shipping more than once. Like, it would have to be something that could keep track of somebody's order, but also make it so it went through immediately while they were live. And I think it could almost have like a receipt on the side or something. You said I have no restrictions, right?
Yeah. If you have a developer, you can develop whatever website you want. Like, money's no object. Your imagination is the limit. Since we know you have a master's degree, we know your imagination is very large.
It is.
Like your guns.
Is that what you were thinking? Okay. Anyways, yeah, that would be my goal there. If we could make YouTube be something where it was a seamless, easy way to shop, and it wasn't so much behind the scenes work. People think that doing sales on Facebook is easy, but it's really not. There's so much that goes into it. Hours that go into prep, hours that go into shipping and arranging things afterwards. And the biggest problem, I think, for most people that try to sell online are people who end up bailing on the bill. If you do that, knock it off. That's shitty.
That reminds me, I need to pay for my Bird City bill.
Yeah, that's right. They're like, oh, I never got the email. We're like, bro, we see it that it says viewed. You saw it. You know what I mean? Like, they get charged on the spot, and it's all just seamless. That would be mine.
It's like, no, I didn't get the email. My wife looked at that, and now I'm dead. Bird City's got to stop dropping five exclusives on the same day.
I know, we can't help it. We have so much good stuff coming out too. It's crazy. And then now we work with Bueller now. So it's like, there's no stopping us.
There you go.
Conflict of interest.
Only a little bit.
All right. So
all that stuff that she's talking about that she has to take care of. See, that's the problem of that channel. I just have to do the advertising. It's a thing of beauty. So.
Oh man, it's a lot. I have a callus on my thumb from like bagging and boarding and getting the tape off the thing, to do the back of the boards. It's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So
this is not what we're talking about, but I imagine a tape dispenser that does exactly 1-inch tapes, and you just roll something over it, and it spaces so you do 2 pieces on the back of each bag. I could draw it better than I explain it, but that would be ideal. Anyway, all right, that's pretty cool channel.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Oh.
And then at the end, sorry, this is nothing to do with sales. If going back to the creator interviews, Bueller, like for example, let's just picture I'm on one side, you're on the other. I think for a creator interview, it would be like that TV show where you're on the lie detector test and you're hooked up, and I would just ask you questions and tell if you're lying or not. Okay, I'm done.
I'd probably be lying.
I don't think you would. I think you're like probably the most honest person ever. Maybe Frank would be more entertaining on that one because
I would not agree to that. No.
Yeah.
What?
Do you know how often I lie?
How
All
often?
do you know what a writer's job is? It's to lie to people.
It's the lie.
But wouldn't that make the interview so much more fun if whoever you're interviewing cannot lie to you and you could ask them off the wall?
I think if you were going to do that, you would need the lie detector
Yeah.
to be on the screen too. So that way,
just like that show. There's some show where they did this.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done now.
There is a certain point where you can have merchandise on your channel. Like it would literally be, it's like right below the screen and stuff like that. And as people are watching, they can just click on it and buy it.
Ooh.
Which would be kind of, I don't know if you have to like use a certain thing to like t-shirts or whatnot, but I'm assuming it's just merchandise in general. So I think that once you hit a certain point, you can have a merchandise store on YouTube and it's literally just shows up right below. I mean, if you're going live or whatnot, it's literally in between you and where the comment section is. There's like a line of products, like 10 or 12 products that people can just buy right then and there. It's almost like just sending a super chat or something, you know?
So I've actually got a spitball idea here. I was just going to say that. I was going to call BBC.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking BBC.
BBC. But instead of having creators on to do lie detector tests, you have your buyers on. And you'd be like, did you see the fucking bill or not?
Did you open that email?
You put them on the spot.
The email, I didn't open it.
You found a loophole.
This guy's got some guilt on him. I think you need to check his invoices.
He does look guilty, doesn't he?
It's because I made a bet last night and I won the bet.
Okay, you're gonna bring that up now. You know that's a sore spot for me.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't win bets very often, and it's always great. Like,
on Comic Book Food Chain, you don't win anything ever.
Except Drunko Vision.
It's because I let you win. That's
Sure.
that's the new narrative.
Look at this. Look what Chad Cave said. BCC would be so much better if they weren't so uptight and professional all the time. He's being 100% sarcastic. We are so, oh man, some shows are bad, but okay.
I will say
that's my favorite line. We're usually more professional than this.
We're usually more professional.
Any
and then it's like,
Captain
Lord,
Marvel
don't lie to the audience. Like, this is how y'all are always like, and this is why we come back and watch.
I know, it's true. All right, I'm done with mine though. Who's next?
Let's tighten up. Let's get down to Yeezy over here. What do you got for us?
All right. So I used to be a musician for a long time, and so I've played music, talked to a lot of musicians, and getting into comics. It was funny. I ran into an old friend who was running a shop, and he's like, "Hey, you listened to Rancid for a long time?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I actually just got in this collection from Lars Fredrickson." Like, I was like, "Oh, he used to collect comics?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's selling them all and stuff like that." I was like, "That's crazy. I didn't know he was like big into comics, but that makes it
don't pay."
Yeah. But I mean, I was like, that's cool. And so it'd be interesting to me to see, like, as a collector, finding out other musicians, who are established and well known throughout either like the comic community or even in the music community, like, hey, share your collection with us, either doing haul videos, books they're currently reading, stuff like that. I think that would be fun. Y'all are just like, whatever.
I think that's a great
idea.
Why don't you say it one more time?
I tried to smack him. He's not by me though. I tried to smack Frank. I'm all, Frank!
I went the wrong way.
Smile, Frank. That's a good idea. Yee.
I'm sorry. I was looking at the comments.
No, that's clever. It's unique.
Yeah, I mean, how many other channels do you see doing that?
Nobody does that.
You just make sure you have good titles.
Yep, and great thumbnails.
And use yellow lettering.
All right. Yeah.
Steal that bird city.
Just like, and then you could do like, no, it could just be like flyer font, right?
Yeah.
If it's like,
I think Ariel on a very faded yellow, like a CBCS label, maybe. But that's just me. All right. Let's kick it over to Bueller. I'll round it out, and
this is the one I'm excited to hear about.
Yeah.
Bueller.
I want to go out on a bad note, so I'm going to go last.
Yeah. So this is exciting because this is actually something that it's something I've thought about. I'm actually going to be doing. This is in my future. I have my kids are older. They're in their mid-20s and stuff. So I'm by myself at my house, and I've always wanted to travel, and I just never really had the means to comfortably travel and stuff like that. So that being said, now that I've done this and been able to make a living doing comics, I'm actually selling my house. I'm liquidating all my assets, and starting next year, probably around the first quarter of next year, I am moving into it's called the van life, and I'm going to travel all over the United States and go to every comic shop in the United States. I'm going to film my videos all over the place, and I'm just going to live on the road, and I'm going to incorporate the comic book community with the travel aspect and stuff. So, I mean, if you can imagine, I'll be at the Grand Canyon, doing a review of Frank's
I'll meet you there.
Newest book or something like that. And it's great because I can film my videos from anywhere in the world. I don't have to be between these four walls in my house. And so I'm really excited to do this. We're actually we bought a bus, and we're going to remodel it and stuff like that, and kind of make it if you want to call it the Bueller bus, you can. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what it's called now.
But I'm really looking forward to just traveling, and I've always wanted to. I just never had the means to do so, and now I finally do. I'm young enough to go and enjoy traveling and stuff like that, and just go visit people, and having 20,000 subscribers or whatnot, that's 20,000 people I get the opportunity to go visit through my travels. Whenever I start to do this, and the thing is, when you're on YouTube and you start to do something that gets attention and people like it, a lot of people try to copy you. Okay, and they'll start copying you or whatnot. Just is what it is, and I'm like, okay, and I'll see people pop up and they're doing the same stuff I'm doing, and I'm like, well, I'm going to do something so different that you're going to have to literally change your life to want to copy what I'm going to do.
Yeah, good luck keeping up this time.
That's a next level troll right there.
It is.
Yeah, so literally, if you're not willing to change your life completely, then you're not going to be able to do it. And so I'm really looking forward to doing this. I mean, it's something I've thought about. My family is totally on board.
That's so ballsy. You're not scared?
No, I mean, I grew up.
I'm scared for
outdoors.
I know.
And, I'm excited for you. Honestly, that sounds amazing. And then I just can't wait until you hit that next level and going international.
Yeah.
Oof.
Good luck driving that bus across an ocean.
My my father was a television producer, and he traveled all throughout the United States and stuff, filming his TV shows and everything. And he used to always share stories with me when he was on the road. So it's something I've always wanted to do. So I'm really looking forward to doing this, and with the support of my people from my channel. It's affording me to do this. So it's when Frank said that, hey, we're going to talk about maybe like a, make believe what YouTube channel that we'd like to have. That's what I wanted to have. I mean, that's my dream channel, and that's what my goal is. So I was pretty happy to get on here and talk about that.
You are more of a badass than when we started.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
I do have two things to say. First and foremost, your answer is disqualified because that is not a dream thing. That is actually happening, so it doesn't count. Second of all, sitting there right on the table, low-hanging fruit, whatever you want to call it, the Magic Buell Bus. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's like the Magic School Bus.
No, yeah. I know the Magic School. I'm just trying to think if that has a ring to it.
Just imagine I'm rolling down somewhere in Kentucky, and people see my bus and they're like, "Oh, that's a Bueller bus," and they're like, "Oh, what's that other sticker on the back? Oh, it's Bird City Comics. Oh, cool."
And they're like, "Oh man, I wish it was the Bang Bus."
Man, my bus is gonna look like a goddamn NASCAR. Man, I'm gonna put every freaking sponsor in the world on there.
Oh man, as long as the majority of it is just a giant Bird City wrap, I'm cool with it. Oh, that is fantastic. That is so original, and I'm very excited for you. I am scared for you because that makes me nervous. Like I can't imagine. You're one of those people that I envy that have
balls to do
that. That's incredible, and I think it's gonna be so much fun. If you guys that are watching are not subscribed, this is like, what are you doing? Subscribe. This is going to be amazing. I mean, not only are you going to have the content, but all these amazing backgrounds. You're going to be visiting people. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, leave this trash channel right now.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Go subscribe to Comics with Bueller.
It's pretty funny because my co-host Bob on the coffee show, he's actually the guy who's buying my house.
Oh, that's funny.
Him and his wife are going to be the ones buying my house, and when I leave or whatnot, and like I mean, there's no set date. I'm shooting for the first part of next year is kind of what I want to do, but really it depends on the weather, depends on a few other things as well. And but once we get the ball rolling, man, I'm out the door and I'm hitting the road and doing my thing. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Maybe without giving away too much I heard that you might be working with somebody on a new project coming up here soon, and maybe we could meet up for that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
No, I'm going to be. I don't know. This is a family-friendly channel.
I'm going to be everywhere.
Since when?
I know, really. I've seen
since
your
2 weeks ago when we hit rock bottom, but I'm not going to name names.
Rolling with Bueller, I like that. Although it kind of has like a
So does the Magic Buell Bus.
That's true.
Which is
Bueller Adventures, sponsored by Bird City. I like that. Yeah. Let's see what else.
He's going to sell
listen, if you've got a good name for this
on the outside of the bus, so you can
drop it in the comments on our channel.
And he's going to have like thousands of names on the bus, and everyone can just pick their favorite.
Yep. What if somebody steals that bus though? It's over.
I mean, it's going to have very identifying marks. So I mean, they're going to have to share that down.
All right, so we're going to name you the winner of this. You're the winner of this segment.
He wins. He wins life. He wins at life.
Even before I go.
What was your segment, Gogol? We didn't even hear.
Oh, I'm check me.
Oh my God,
you're not ready for this. I'm going to sell my house, and I'm going to go write comics in space on camera.
So it's
I'm going to Fast and the Furious this shit. I'm going to space.
Nice.
All right. No, really, what's yours?
So it's actually kind of what we talked about doing with this channel early on, and that we did a little bit of and haven't quite figured out how to do it on a regular basis. But I would like to do something in the vein of Hot Ones for comic creators. Like, I think that one of the things that's missing from comic creator interviews on YouTube is kind of that fun factor, right? Like, you can listen to somebody talk about their life and that's fine, but watching them do it under the pressure of eating hot sauces that are insanely hot, or spicy noodles like we do here, or in some kind of like, that X Factor situation. Like, I think that's one of the things that can really amp it up and get more eyes on it. Because I really do think that YouTube, however limited the opportunities feel for comic creator interviews, is the biggest vehicle available to comic creators to get their name out there. Like, I've seen this in my own life firsthand. When I go to shows now, which I haven't done in a long time, I'm very excited to start doing that again. I've got people saying, "Oh, I saw you on Drunken Chat. Oh, I saw you on that commercial on Comics with Bueller." And I hear that so much more often than I hear shit like, "I saw you on Twitter." And like the anecdotal evidence is so overwhelmingly positive for YouTube that any creator who's not sitting there after they're done writing their book or drawing their book thinking about how to take advantage of YouTube, like I got involved with starting a channel. Like, there's a reason for that. But anyone who's not doing that is leaving money and opportunity and fan base on the table. This is the Wild West, and it has to be figured out how to be tamed.
But it has to be fun. Like, your guys' Drunko vision is fantastic. That's brilliant. Whoever came up with that idea, I loved it. Anthony really wants me to show you guys this, the Millennium Falcon. There's the name.
It's a name, that's for sure.
It's a name. It's a little wordy. Oh, you broke his spirit, Frank.
Wait, is he just saying that because he's wearing a vest?
No, because Bueller's a Star Wars fan.
No, I wear the vest because I'm fat, and the vest makes me look thinner.
And
I'm not joking. That's literally the whole reason. I sat down to film. I filmed
because of Ferris Bueller.
No, the very first episode of the coffee video, I sat down in front of the camera. And I had a white T-shirt on. I looked at the camera. I looked like just a lump. I was like, "What the hell is that?" No. And I was like, I need to put something on to cover this up. I looked at my closet and I had this vest, and I put the vest on. And it made me look slim. I was like, "Dude."
We're all getting vests here.
That's literally how I started wearing the vest.
Next show, we're all gonna have vests on.
I look fat.
If you got any thinner, you'd slip into a crack in the ground and disappear forever. Stop that. Stop that right now.
Ooh, I wonder if I still have my punk vest.
I think I still have mine, but it's probably way too small. Anyway,
the Bueller name actually came from Xbox. Believe it or not.
I don't.
The Bueller.
Everything I knew was a lie.
I bought an Xbox 360 a long time ago, and when you sign up for your gamer tag and stuff, They give you like a name or whatnot. It popped up and the name was Bueller. And so I just kept that name. And then when I would play games online, people just called me Bueller all the time. And then when I decided to do a channel, I was like, well, I'll just use that name. But that's where that's literally, it was a random gamer tag generated from Xbox is where I got that name.
Wow.
That's
was
great.
Stinky
That's so
Binky
great.
was mine.
And that was auto assigned, or you
auto assigned. I was Stinky Binky, and I'm like, I can't be Stinky Binky, so I changed it to Lady Laura.
Lady
I was Stinky
in
Binky.
case anyone didn't know.
Yeah. If you want to play Fortnite, Lady Laura.
Yeah. So just real quick, Tim or Laura, whoever's controlling the comments, I would just like to highlight Jay Burns' last comment.
I'll do it. Oh, Tim and I did it at the same moment, and then I undid his. Okay.
Wow, technology. Anyway, Jay is a regular, and his vote counts for 10. So the Magic Mule bus it is. Whether Travis runs it is it would be a bad move not to.
No, that's fantastic. If you guys are just joining, Bueller's going to take his show on the road.
Stinky Pinky, tell us more.
Binky.
I'm just reading. I'm just reading the comments.
Just reading the comments.
Please put your children to bed.
Not Pinky, Binky. Like a kid has a pacifier.
Why is the Binky stinky?
I don't know. It's just what Xbox gave me.
Did Xbox mistake it for a Pinky? Anyway, we're getting to dark
way
place.
off the rails.
Off the rails. What's up next? What do we got?
So this is the part of the show where we wind down.
Oh, this is wind down? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, unless you want to stay.
I mean, yeah.
I'm
having a great time. I'm having a great time.
Well, this will be the first week you get to come to the CBFC after party, which this is also the first time that's happening. So stay tuned backstage.
Oh, yeah, we'll do.
All our favorite viewers will be there. Any viewers who don't get invited, it's not personal.
I'm looking at all the things here on the side here, like the wind down. You guys are so detailed. This is insane.
It would be cool if Ant ever followed that outline that I do every week.
Yeah. So any other questions that you guys have for Bueller, now is the time to ask them. And again, if you have not already given this channel a thumbs up, you need to, and subscribe to Bueller as well. I am so excited to see what you do.
Since I didn't get to do shout outs at the beginning, I want to give shout outs now for everyone watching and stuff like that.
We don't follow the outline.
Yeah. So how's it going, Prince Zodiac? I don't think I've seen that name before. Jay Burns, welcome back. Chad Cave, how's it going? Comic Toby 420, what's going on? Maybe in the back alley. Prince Zodiac again. Rob's Comics, hey, what's up, man? I think I saw Ultra earlier.
Bird City's in there.
Kevin Rhonda, how's it going? Sorry if I mispronounced that. The Mad Respect, what's up?
I think that was everybody, right?
This is incredible. Did you name 30 people that have been watching tonight?
I also saw Frank Gogol in the chat in the comics. And then
I hear that guy's pretty cool.
Yeah. I thought his last name was pronounced Google. So I also want to give a shout out to Catherine. Thank you for joining us and watching Laura, your best friend.
Yay! Hi, Catherine.
Six Boy, how's it going, man?
All right. Look at all these
and Nigel Tunson. Dan Barry, what's up?
Oh, Dan's here? Shocking. He was quiet because Ant's not on.
Oh, Joe's in the house. Red Hood Comic. Do we want to kind of announce what our coming up show?
Well, that's part of the wind down if you look at that line. So
no, I didn't read it.
Jesus Christ. Of course you did. Of course you did. Anyway, Travis Bueller, thank you so much for coming on. It was absolutely insightful and probably more fun than I thought it'd be.
Thank you.
Is that a compliment?
What did I just say?
What did you just say? Let me try that over. Bueller, thank you so much for coming on. It is an absolute honor to have you.
These are the exact same words I just said.
Oh, man. No, you're very insightful. You are a powerhouse in this industry. We are so grateful that you are here. And Bird City is we're very grateful that we are working with you.
Yeah,
I look forward to
I've
it.
enjoyed working with you guys as well, and honestly, all you guys are great. So I mean,
All of us.
Frank's not bad. I gotta give the guy credit.
Hey, you know what?
I said no to him for
We
a
asked him
long
what
time.
his biggest mistake was, and he didn't say giving me his card. So
Yeah,
He said no for a long time.
a long time. I saw Frank's emails pop up. I was like, oh man, is that Frank guy again?
listen, if it makes you feel better, I use GMass for automated emails. It's just you're on a spreadsheet. It's not personal.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. One more question for you too. They want to know what books you're keeping on the bus, because I mean, you got to keep at least your Grail with you, right?
What's on your back wall too? I see a lot of TKO and some Frank Gogol.
I just put a bunch of trades on the back wall right now. There's nothing really anything specific, but as far as the stuff I'm going to take with me, I only have I have a place where I'm going to be keeping a lot of my stuff, just as far as family or whatnot. But if I have stuff with me, it'll be my Hulk 181, my Punisher, my ASM 129, a few things like that. Some special books. I have probably about 20 books special that I'll keep with me. So, but they'll be locked up in the safe somewhere in the bus. Maybe I shouldn't be telling people, oh, that's the Bueller bus. There's a Hulk 181.
I know, right? They're going to try to rob you.
That's where my bus breaks down. That's what I use for payment to fix my bus. I'm like, here's a 181, fix it.
That's when he's going to upgrade the suitcase with a handcuff to the wrist.
Listen, I'll take an extra hand while I'm at it. Like that's not going to me. Listen, comic books are not currency most places you go, but for the right person, they're everything. So that's not a bad. It's not a bad investment.
Yeah, I'm actually liquidating my personal collection myself, so I'm going to get down to like just a couple boxes, and that's about it.
All right, I'll take all of those 90s comics you got.
You got them all.
Right. He's like, that saves me a lot of time and money.
Pay me to take them off your hands. Right? All right. But no, again, Travis, thank you for coming on. It's been a blast.
Thank you, sir.
Very insightful. Yee's been taking notes, and our channel is about to hit 20,000 subscribers. Hopefully next week. You made it sound like
we're close.
Yeah, only 19,200 to go.
No pressure. No pressure, right?
No pressure. But with that, everyone go sub Bueller's channel. It's Comics with Bueller. 3 shows: Coffee with Comics, the weekly previews, and that other one he mentioned.
Top 10.
Yep. They're all really good. I love Coffee with Comics. I watch it every week. Yee watched it this week, so I think you've got a new fan there. Hopefully some of you guys go check that out on next Monday. With that said, we will let you go so you don't have to be put through the wind down. And we'll see you next time.
Wait. Can I say the tagline real quick?
Yeah.
No, because we're not at that part of the outline.
Oh, shit.
Laura doesn't read the outline.
I'm reading the outline. Oh, my dog's barking. Sorry. I'm at the outline.
All right.
See, the dog understood. All right, Tim, would you escort our esteemed guest out and bring up the slides?
Bye, Bueller.
All right, am I muted? I can't hear anybody else.
No, I can hear you.
I unmuted.
Awesome.
Yeah, Laura muted because her dog was working.
Right.
Oh, really, Yee? You're gonna dog shame me? All right.
No, because my dog barks all the time.
I have a dog, and my dog is never fucking barking in these videos. Y'all need to get your shit together. I digress.
She was defending us against the pizza guy. He just showed up with my vegetarian pizza.
I've heard stories about your tiny little, is it French bulldog or whatever? It just doesn't
It's a
sound
pug.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
pug.
like the same stupid animal, though, right? They're both breeds of dogs that we should have created because they can't fend.
Did you get pineapple jalapeno?
That's true. I did.
Pineapple
You know me
jalapeno
so
mushroom?
well.
I got
Boom.
that yesterday.
No.
What? No, add mushrooms and sausage to that, and it's amazing. You're halfway there.
To pineapple, you would put jalapenos on your pizza, Frank?
Yeah,
Wow.
I like
I
sausage.
wouldn't have guessed that. I picture yours are just like cheese.
No, I would never eat plain pizza. It's fucking sin. Anyway, this is not what people are here to see, hopefully. If you guys haven't, we dropped our this week's what we're eating. It's our comic picks for today and tomorrow. Wednesday picks. We had some good ones. We had a really good blooper at the beginning of this one. I'm going to spoil it. Dan Slot. So if you haven't checked that out, that went up this morning. You can find that out on the channel. If you haven't, we're begging you, please fucking subscribe. No, I'm kidding. But if you like what we're doing, and if you like, honestly, hit the thumbs up if you like having Laura instead of Ant. We just need that data. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, follow us on Instagram. Don't follow us on Twitter. I'm about to kill that. There's going to be an X to that next week. But yeah, sub the channel, follow us on Instagram. You put some pretty cool stuff up on there.
I'll get right on that.
Yeah. We're a little behind. And then don't forget to hit the bell. We want you to know when we put these videos up, so that way we don't have to ask you to watch them. It makes our lives a ton easier.
It does.
And like we said earlier in the episode, when we hit that 900 sub mark, we're going to be giving away a Captain America or Sam Wilson Captain America #1, the hip hop variant. It's a great homage cover.
And then you might get a bonus. And you might get a bonus book if you watch the What We're Eating.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that. Let me know. Let me know in the private chat about that one. And I hear this book needs a press, but next week we will be having. Would you say a professional press run? Why don't you tell us?
Yeah. So one of my fellow Flipside podcasters, Joe, Redhead Comics, is going to be joining us on next week for Comic Book Food Chain. He's been pressing books for 10 years, and he just pressed 30 books for me. So I label him
10 years to press a book. He's probably got to
No, it was like it was actually like his turnaround time was like superb. So I'm really excited about that.
Because GCG or whatever it's called, they're not very quick anymore. Not that they were to begin with, but
yeah, I like to label him the best presser in Texas. So
the fastest press in the West.
On this side of the Mississippi.
That was good.
So the West. Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week, guys. Thank you for watching. Hit all those things that we tell you to hit every week, but actually do it this time if you haven't. And like I said, if you like having Laura on the show in place of whoever is usually there, just hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment. He's not here to defend himself, so we got to kick him while he's down.
Oh, wow.
He'll do the same to me when I'm not here one day, but I'll be here.
He would.
I'm a professional. I've never missed it, and I've never missed a meeting.
He has a cold.
I missed the meeting. I can't say much.
Yeah, but at least you let us know.
Oh, that's true. I did get noticed.
Listen, there are levels of bad. Anyway,
she might have a chance to win the crown too.
Laura is probably the only person who can beat me in any kind of game of skill or mental strength.
Oh, 100%. What's the game?
Let's do a yoga push-ups contest. You and me.
Hey, I'm still here.
Deal. Ansel, I'm still here. Don't forget me.
Oh shit! You've got a ghost.
Wait, now can I say the tagline?
Yeah.
Now?
Well, I feel like the moment has passed.
No, wait.
I think you just fucked it up.
Hold on. No. I got this. All right.
Shake it out. Shake it out.
What's the line? Oh, why is it? Okay.
Because you got to say it with flair.
Okay. Until then, stay hungry, y'all.
She said hungry instead of hungry, but it's fine.
I said hungry. I thought that was a spelling error. I'm like, why did they spell hungry?
All right.
There you go.
Going up.
Stay hungry, y'all.
There you go. All right. Tim, cut it. We're out.